Welcome to the Poundcast, my Brent.
Welcome to the Poundcast, my Doug.
Uh, this is the last one of the year. We're squeezing this one out. We were going to take the week off, but we said, you know what? It's worth it to crank one more out to the pimples because we still got some more um, annoyances to get through. We got some other stuff to talk about. Miles will round out the year with one more.
Had to,
Had to.
had to. Um, but before we get into all that, we have some quick, hopefully, top of the show business to get through. First of all, let's just start off by saying that this episode is in part brought to you by
Louisville Vegan Foods.
You got it. You got it. You guessed
And
it.
and by the way, we're coming to Louisville in January, so get your tickets. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Louisville Vegan Foods is our proud sponsor, and they make Louisville vegan jerky, as you know, Brent. And
I did know that. Yeah.
pound pimples like yourself, like our listeners, you know what they get? 20% off if they go to LouisvilleVeganFoods.com and use the code word Poundcast. And what do they make? Louisville vegan jerky.
They
The
do
best
make
jerky.
it.
The best jerky this side of the Mississippi.
And guess what? The stuff is bagged in the United States on either side of the Mississippi. Well, I guess it's probably bagged on the other side of the Mississippi, but
The other side.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's actually the best jerky on either side of the Mississippi, I should say.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say, but it also is the best on this side. So whatever side of the Mississippi you were on, you got to check this stuff out. And the
Got
best
to.
way to do it and support us is use the code word Poundcast and get 20% off. And
The
you know
stuff
what?
has
If you didn't get your stocking stuffed this year, if you go to your stocking Christmas morning, you're feeling around in there, there's nothing but lint, maybe a piece of coal. Treat yourself on and get 20% off on us.
and guess what? If you do want to stuff a stocking, or if you for next year, because hey, Christmas is in less than a year. Christmas is
Yeah.
less than a year away. So get your stocking stuffers now. And
Oh, by the way, if you got this stuff, what it does have a shelf life of 9 months. It probably has a stocking life of 9 months. So you can
Yeah.
get this stuff around April.
yeah, stuff the stocking in April, you're done.
You're done for the year. Then there's no more stress. There's no more holiday stress. Stuff the stocking early.
Okay? And
Okay.
once again, LouisvilleVeganFoods.com, use the code word Poundcast and get 20% off, and you won't regret it.
You won't regret this. And Brent and I are coming to your town if you live in Louisville, Appleton, Wisconsin, which is by Green Bay. But if you live in Wisconsin, you know this. And Chicago. And let's take a look here. First, we're going to be in Appleton on January 20th at the Skyline Comedy Club. Then we are going to the Hideout in Chicago for 2 shows, the 21st, Friday the 21st. And then Saturday the 22nd will be, you guessed it, Louisville. And
Now-
we'll be jerking on our jerky all night.
We'll be jerking that jerky all night. And now the thing is get your tickets. Proof of vaccination is required or negative COVID-19 test. But, these days, a lot of stuff is getting canceled. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. Hopefully things are not, I don't know, not as bad as they are right now for COVID-19.
No need to mention it, Brent. No need to even mention it. The shows are as of this recording, they're still a go.
They're still a go. They're still a go. But, speaking of shows getting canceled, though, the New Year's Eve show in Oakland did get canceled because of what's going on. And so I wanted to mention that we're doing the show online instead on New Year's Eve. So look, I think a lot of stuff is going to get canceled for New Year's Eve. So, basically, if you're looking for something to do, this Friday, December 31st. You can go to tinyurl.com/megashow2022, or just go to any of my social media accounts and you can find a link to the show. But it's going to be an online show. The lineup has changed since its version that was going to be in Oakland. It's going to be now Maria Bamford is on the show, and Atsuko Okatsuka is on the show as well, and also Caleb Huron and Natasha Leggero, Moshe Kasher, me, Andrew Rashawn. And there's 2 tiers of tickets. There's the economy ticket, which is you could just watch the YouTube link and of the live stream, and then there's the VIP ticket, which you can be in the Zoom room with us and interact. And there's no delay, and there'll be an after show hangout as well, like we did last year. So anyway, check that stuff out.
So it's all on Zoom.
It is now going to be on Zoom and YouTube. Yeah.
I ran into Maria Bamford the other day on Hollywood Boulevard. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was with my sister and her kids and her husband, and they were like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "You don't know Maria Bamford? Come on, you should be like, holy crap, we just were." They're like, "Come on, let's go. Quit talking to your friend."
Well, yeah. By the way, that show is going to be at 8:30 Pacific time, and the countdown will be at 10 Pacific time, which is a Central time countdown. So it'll be a Chicago style New Year's Eve countdown.
That's a Chicago style countdown right there.
Yeah, it's a deep dish countdown right there. What else? Patreon. Okay, the show is also the show is brought to you by viewers like you.
Just go to patreon.com/poundcast, and for pennies
on the nickel,
you could support us, and you can get the bonus content, which every episode we do, we end the show, but then for Patreon subscribers, you get to keep listening to us talk for another half hour. And that's when it gets good a lot of the times, because we're jazzed up. And
we're jerking, dude. We're jerking. We're hardcore jerking. We're jerking our jerky all night. And also, yeah, I mean, it goes off after dark sometimes, It
goes off after dark. The only way to listen to the After Dark is sign up for the patreon.com/poundcast.
This stuff it's nickels on the knuckle.
It's nickels on the knuckle. All right, well, let's get on with the show. What do you think, Brent?
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure there's nothing else to mention, right? I think we can move on.
Covered the bases. We're going on tour.
Got that.
LouisvilleVeganFoods.com.
Got
Use
that.
the code word Poundcast.
Got that.
New Year's Eve show.
Got it.
Patreon.com/Poundcast.
Got it. Oh, YouTube. How about that? YouTube.com/Legacy Music Hour if you wanted to watch a video of the
YouTube.com/The Poundcast, not Legacy Music Hour.
Oh my gosh, I did it again. It's such a weird habit. Well, hey, go to
Yeah, check them both out. Why
check
not?
them both out. You can see video game playthroughs that I do, and clips from my other podcast, Legacy Music Hour. But anyway,
I'll mention one little thing. If you want to give me a little Christmas bonus, you can go to patreon.com/DougPound. I have my own little Patreon.
Oh yeah,
and I put little sneak peeks on there, little things. It ain't no After Dark, but we're gonna get there. Anyway, we have a remix from one of our Patreon subscribers today, and
let me tell you a little about that if you don't have that in front of you.
I don't have that in front of me. Who is it by, Brent?
This is by Daniel, and here's what he said. Daniel said, "Here's my electronic take on your infectious theme. Nice work, Doug. I love Body Tight Side B, by the way." And he said, "Anyway, it makes me want to see you guys in a cartoon." Okay, whatever. And he's also said, "If you're curious, I just put out an ambient record as Shores of Echo." Okay, so he goes by Shores of Echo, as well as a synth pop EP as Bliss Nova. So you can check out his two projects, Shores of Echo or Bliss Nova, and it's on his new label Magic Mood, which is magicmood.bandcamp.com. Anyway, he made this theme. It's called D&B Poundcast Theme Bliss Nova Remix. That's what we'll be hearing.
Can't wait to check this out. Let's roll the clip. And we're back. What a beautiful remix. And I did want to mention one other thing. I have a new Christmas EP out. Maybe Christmas is over by the time this thing comes out, which it probably will be. But
it is. Christmas is over.
You know what? Christmas is year round. Check out these Christmas tracks I did with Sir Spence at the3yearolds.bandcamp.com. And
hey, like I said, at this point, Christmas is less than a year away. So
right. So get ready for next year. And the dang thing might be, here's my first complaint. The dang thing is supposed to be on Spotify and all the other streaming sites. And we submitted it weeks ago, maybe like 3 weeks ago. And it's like still not there.
Mm-hmm.
And now look, Christmas is come and gone.
Right. Hey, that happened to me. That happened to me last year with this one.
Like,
but
it's like, you got to get this stuff out there. Like you got to put it out in like July.
Hey, you got to put it out in, January or the end of December,
Right.
I got, before we get to annoying things and stuff.
Yeah, I got some stuff to talk about too. Go ahead.
Oh, that's not about the annoying stuff or whatever?
No, I got a story about the rat.
Yeah, I guess there's more to hear about that. I had do you want to hear I had this kind of funny idea I was talking about with my friend. I thought I'd share it with you and the crew if you're interested. We were talking about Danny DeVito, the actor, and we were talking about how Danny DeVito looks, because he's a small guy, he looks cute. You know how he looks cute?
It's one way to say it. Yeah,
not in a romantic way, but in a way that a kid looks cute and or a cartoon character.
Absolutely cute, absolutely adorable, of course.
So then we started thinking, what if there was a Danny DeVito doll, right? And then we were thinking, what if it was like a real doll, or it was a real doll of Danny DeVito, and you could call it Real DeVito or call it My DeVito, like My Buddy, you could just bring this real doll version of Danny DeVito around. You call it My DeVito. And then we were thinking, and so that's something to just, think about. Okay. Chew on that for a little bit. And then we were thinking, well, what if I started my friend suggested to me, what if you started selling dolls of yourself at your shows? And I'm not talking like how Eric Andre had that that doll, that pillow doll of himself. Talking a real doll version of me, a real Brent. What if I started selling real Brents? And then I started thinking, what if you started selling real Dougs?
Well, with the real dolls, those have like working sex parts, right? So you're banging them.
Well,
now what's going to be under the hood on your, on yours?
At the end of the hood?
Under the hood.
Oh, under the hood.
Fully, biologically correct situation down there.
I should put a vagina.
Real Brent.
Because most of our audience is male, so
would you have the penis and everything?
Oh yeah, I would guess. That's actually a really good question. Maybe I should censor it. Maybe just.
How would you not think about it? That's the first thing you would think about if you're gonna make a real.
I wasn't
Brent.
thinking of.
All I'm thinking about is the dick.
I wasn't thinking of sex stuff, and my mind's doesn't always go there.
And then maybe, is your butt like? Can you use that?
I mean,
is it a real butthole or what?
I was thinking to myself, it just would be interesting and weird to have a life-size doll and it feel kind of real too.
You'd be
Just like,
having people bang you all around the country.
maybe I would put a black box, a 3D black box over the penis and stuff and over the butt crack so that you can't, it's locked out. Or maybe the VIP ticket gets you entry into the black box. You know, you get the
Right.
unlock the black box.
Right. It's got like a chastity belt and you can
Chastity
unlock
belt.
it only with in-app in Brent purchases. Like you get a
Actually, if there was a real doll for me and it had a chastity belt, that would be pretty fitting. So you wouldn't have the chastity belt doesn't come off, and maybe there is real parts in there, but you'll never get to see them ever,
why
unless
don't you
you're
just make a Brent robot and it just is you? And it's like if people try to step to you, you're like, you know, you back away, you walk away, you know, they can't um if they try to shake your hand, you'll bow, stuff like that, you know.
right. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm down. Let's like yeah. Let's
Speaking of
make
that,
it.
can we just mention something I think the listeners might find interesting?
Okay, go ahead.
Now, most of my friends caught COVID. We're talking, I don't know if I should name everybody, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 8 people that I can think of, and they all caught it at the same comedy show. Well, some of them didn't catch it at that comedy show, but one of them
Well,
also caught it.
one of them brought
And
it to
I
us.
was hanging out with these people like crazy at these super spreader events all weekend. And even on Sunday night, I went to this crowded party. It was outside, but my friend who hosted it telling me today I got COVID. He's got it now too. I don't know if I told you that.
This was mean. You're talking 2 nights ago or whatever.
The party I went to, I don't know if I told you whose house it was, but he
Write
has
it.
it now.
Write it in the thing right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my
Yeah. So
God.
he's got it.
Can
Everyone
I say
has it.
this?
Everyone's got it.
He did something kind of annoying to me the other day, which was okay. A couple weeks ago, I went to an outdoor party and I was doing my thing where I wasn't shaking people's hand or anything like that, bowing, you know, and I did that to him, and he kind of started messing with me and was touching me, started touching my body and stuff, you know.
Oh my God. Well, that's
Yeah,
what
and
you
I
know you
just I
got it.
thought that was kind of annoying, and he was doing that because he was, I don't know. And then he goes and he says, "I'm actually probably the most germophobic person that anybody here." And I said, "Well, then why are you all touching me and stuff?" And then he's like, "Because I know you and stuff." And I said, "Okay, whatever, you know." I mean,
He
anyway,
said he was the most germophobic.
that's what he said. Yeah, he said he was the most
There's no,
germophobic.
I mean, not the way
I said, then how come you're okay with shaking everybody's hand and stuff? He said, as soon as I shake someone's hand, I immediately am thinking I need to Purell this. I need to disinfect this. I
So,
believe, I believe that he
so
is.
who else caught it, Brent?
There was a show that happened on, it was I don't know, 2 Mondays ago or whatever. And a lot of people at that show got it. I don't know if I should name names, but a lot of people
No,
got.
well, just get to the headline.
Well, you can say it if you want to.
Well, Brent, apparently you are COVID positive,
I am. I am.
and the
Um,
symptoms aren't that bad. You just have a cough.
Right now, yeah, right now I have a cough that's bad, and that's why you'll see me. I mean, I'm muting my mic when I do it, but I'm covering my. Not that I need to. I'm just trying to. I guess I don't need to cover. I'm not. Who am I covering my mouth for? But I'm covering my mouth, going like this, and I'm coughing into my sleeve, even though nobody's here. I've been isolating for the last, since Wednesday, and so I don't know, almost a week.
Well, it just goes to show if you could catch it
Right.
and you bow, you don't touch anything, you bow, you're masked up.
I was
You're the
using my
most,
own mic.
you're
at
the
the
most
time.
germophobic person I know. And if you caught it, that means this thing is super contagious.
Right. If I can catch COVID-19, then you will. That's a PSA. No, it's
I've been testing almost every day, every other day. It keeps coming up negative. I went to a drive-through today that does a different, maybe a more reliable test than the home one. So I await the results, and they could come in tonight. So I'll keep you guys posted. I'll keep checking my email to see if that comes in.
And
I feel fine. I have no fever. I have no cough. So
that's crazy.
maybe I might be an asimp, or I might be just, maybe there are people that it just doesn't get, but
every single person from that show got it, and we know who. There was one person we know who brought it basically there, and I used my own mic. I kept my distance. I wasn't, kept a mask on all the time except for when I was on stage performing. And I'll say this, one of my friends who has it, he seems to be feeling worse than me. And I did feel bad, but it wasn't terrible. And I've definitely been sicker. But I think that the reason the symptoms are not as severe is because I had the booster, and I had I was fully vaccinated. I had the booster as well. So that's probably why the symptoms are not as bad for me. But I had a light fever. I had runny and stuffed up nose. I had body aches, and stuff. And so I had these mid or low to mid flu-like symptoms, and now I feel fine, except for this cough is really annoying. That's just the worst thing. Is I hate having a cough. Speaking of annoying things, coughs. Ugh. How do you deal with that? How do you fix that annoyance, huh?
well,
You can't. There's nothing you could do about it. I've tried to train myself to see if I can tolerate. Because it starts with the reason you cough is there's a tickle in your throat or whatever, and you want to scratch that tickle. There's an itch that you need to scratch, and I've tried to think, okay, what if I can just train my body to just be okay with there being an itch there or whatever, and it's not possible. It's not possible.
well, there's got to be a way. Let's figure this out. Maybe every day tickle your throat with a little feather. When you're not sick, just always be tickling. And then when you get that cough, I mean, your body's coughing probably to get out.
Sure.
It probably serves a purpose, but okay, you don't want to cough. You're like, I'll write it out. I'll keep it in. I'll swallow it down or whatever. Tickle that throat, and then soon you'll be numb to the tickle.
Maybe I should just stick dildos down my throat, and just try to do that as much as possible.
That could work too.
Yeah. Do people who have oral fixations and enjoy sucking on penises, perhaps, or stuff like that, do they have, or people who don't have a gag reflex, are they able to not cough during a cough?
That's a good question, Brent. I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to customize my Gmail so it's not so bright, but okay, what else? You got the real Brent, the real DeVito. I could tell you about my rat story. So it goes back a few months where I came home kind of late. I was sitting on my couch. I was looking at my phone, and I see out of the corner of my eye something like move. And I was like, oh shit, there's a mouse in here.
So disturbing. And
I looked everywhere. I couldn't find it. I'm like, maybe I'm seeing things, I thought, I don't know. So I bought mouse traps, humane mouse traps. I didn't want to have some dead mouse that I got to throw out. I didn't want to kill a mouse. I was like, I'll trap them. They're these it goes into a little house, and then the door shuts, and then you go release it somewhere. I tried to do the nice thing, Brent. Those things were behind my oven. I think I put one in the basement. Nothing happened. Next thing you know, fast forward maybe a month or two. Yes, Brent?
Did you get scared when you saw the mouse?
The first time I got kind of creeped, like, oh, sure.
But creeped in what way? Are you scared of that kind of stuff? Does it scare you? What creeps you out about it?
the way it was just more of like a shadow across. It was like dark. It was at night. It was more of just like I was like, at that point, I wasn't really scared. I was more of like, tomorrow morning, the first thing I'm doing, I am putting this place on lockdown, and I'm going to try to get to the bottom of this. I couldn't find any evidence of this thing. So I kind of like forgot about it. Nothing went in the trap. So I'm like, well, I guess maybe I didn't see anything. Maybe that was just, like maybe my eye moved and who knows what was going on.
Wishful thinking, isn't it?
So maybe a month goes by and I see underneath my sink, there was next to underneath my sink is like where I keep like extra bags and, kitchen supplies. And I found
poo-poo.
Well, there was some poo-poo, but there was a soy sauce package all eaten up, like shredded. I'm like, okay, a rodent is in here. It ate that. And a rodent ate that. So then I'm like, all right, what am I going to do? I looked around. I put the traps back. I was like, I don't know, this thing, maybe that was from before and I never noticed it because it's like in some drawer I never look at. So then like a couple weeks ago, I was watching 90 Day Fiance with my friend, and we come in. I come to get a tea. I walk into the kitchen. There's a full rat jumping up against like the kitchen counter thing. And I'm like, wait. I full screamed. She jumped on a chair. It was like out of a cartoon. We're grabbing brooms. It went behind it was just right there. It's just scurrying across like, it went behind the fridge. And then, yes, Brent.
I'm sorry. Where was it when you first saw it? It was on the kitchen counter?
No, it was on the ground. It was just like, I think we startled it and just sort of jumped. It couldn't get up onto the kitchen counter.
It was trying to jump up onto the kitchen counter?
No, I think maybe since I startled it, it was just looking for somewhere to go. It had nowhere to go. So it's kind of like jumped against the wall and kind of went the other way.
That gives me just goosebumps. I have goosebumps right now.
Yeah. So then I tore the whole kitchen apart. I moved the fridge outside. I flipped the oven upside down. We're looking under there. We didn't know where the damn thing went. So I just left the kitchen. I left the fridge outside. I figured maybe it's up in the gears and underneath somehow. So then
You're lucky you had a friend there with you.
I swept everything out. I found some turds. I found like in my TV room, which is on the other side of the house, I'm finding turds behind the couch. I found a pile of crackers back there.
Oh my!
I found a turd on my computer desk. It got up to here, looking around. Yeah,
that is disturbing.
It's disturbing stuff.
This thing is crawling all over the place. Did you look in your bedroom?
I didn't find a single turd in there, thank God. So I bought door sweeps. Every single door is like sealed. And I sealed off. I found underneath the sink, there was a crack, or like where the pipes go in the wall, where a mouse or a rat could have crawled through. It could have crawled through there. There's like another hole back there. I'm looking deep in the recesses back there. I got some caulk and tape. I just taped and caulked and used that great stuff foam. I patched up every hole. And that thing, it hasn't appeared since. But I did find turds in one of my drawers.
New turds?
No, they were like old turds I was like, man, this thing got everywhere. So then I was like, this is like no more Mr. Nice Guy. I got some rat traps and I got some mouse traps. And I even bought the special mouse rat, like, instead of using peanut butter, this stuff's supposed to be better. I set these traps. I set it under the sink. Nothing, days are going by. Nothing's touching it. I put some in the basement and I found one of them. I had a mouse trap too. That one was flipped, but there was nothing around. So I'm like, okay, this thing's clever and it's not going for the rat trap. It must know. So then I set the mouse trap again. I forgot about it for a few days. And then my sister's over here with her kids and they're like, we want to see your basement. For some reason, the kids wanted to see the basement. It's like a cellar. You have to go outside and then down these creepy stairs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have like boxes of stuff stored down there and like a weed whacker. Anyway, I was like, and then I see the mouse trap is I put some sunflower seeds on it because people say that that's their favorite thing. The seeds are scattered. And then underneath the mouse trap is like a bin, like a plastic bin, you know, with like painting supplies. And it's sitting in there and it's not moving, but it's alive. I'm like, oh, I stunned it or I broke its back and it can't walk right. So I'm like, oh my God. And we were like leaving and I'm like, oh my God. So I took the bin outside. I'm like, and I just like leaned it sideways. And then we were getting ready to leave and I went back to look and it was out. But then I saw it next to the fence and it was like crawling around like it's not walking good. I'm like, man, now I got to put this thing out of its misery. You know, I wanted the rat trap to just kill it instantaneously, snap its neck, and it's not a painful, drawn out death. And first of all, I tried to humanely trap it and set it free. Now I'm face to face with having to put this thing out of its misery or just maybe forget about it. But I thought the poor thing is like crawling around, you know, with its back legs not working. They're kind of like one of them's working. It was kind of hopping. And I'm like, this is just sad.
This is a rat, right?
I think it was a rat. I don't know. It could have been a big mouse. It had a tail. It wasn't like a big ass rat. It was. Anyway, so I got this BB gun that I got from my uncle. It's like this. It looks like an Uzi, and you could shoot like it can go like Terminator style. So when I came back, I was like, I got to put this thing out of its misery. And then it crawled down to like where my skate ramp is. And it was just such a like weird scene. I'm like, oh, I'm pointing at it like, I can't pull the trigger. I like to kill this thing right now. It's just so weird.
Why didn't you want to use a shovel and just hit it with a shovel?
Oh, because that's gross. I don't know. It'd be splatter and guts and everything.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, isn't a gun going to do that?
I don't kill animals. I don't know how to do it right. The gun was pretty powerful. So I ended up like blasting it a few times and then it scurried into a bush.
Oh my God. Where did you blast it?
Just down by my skate ramp.
I don't know. Where on his body?
Right in the ass. I don't know. It was just like on its body somewhere. I didn't go for the head. It wasn't a headshot. It was like kind of facing away.
Mm-hmm.
So that's haunting me.
Oh my God, that sucks. So it got away completely.
Well, I'm sure it died soon after that. It probably was mortally wounded. I got it 3 times.
Yeah. I mean, the shovel would have been a more instant.
I guess I got to get a real gun and just blast it.
In the ass too, right?
But like my sister and her kids were here and I'm like, we can't have a rat. I got kids staying over here. Like this is a DEFCON 5 situation. I got to get rid of this thing.
I mean, the shovel would have put it out of its misery quickly. You just hit the head, boom.
Yeah, but you should have seen it. It was crawling. It was in little crevices around the fence. I would have had to, it would have been, it wasn't just laying there like hit me with a shovel. It still was moving around.
Now, you were talking about this thing has been everywhere. Chances are that's not the only thing that's been, it wasn't just one rat. There's got to be more, right?
Well, they're not coming in the house anymore. If there are, there's more traps. The traps are still set. So we'll see.
You didn't find any holes at all anywhere?
I looked everywhere.
I'm actually somewhat surprised that you've never had a rodent problem in the past. This is your first time in 11 years living in that house. First time having a problem like this. Just because, you live in a rustic area kind of, and these things are
It's
there.
an old house too. It's from 1927.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's move on from that.
Well, do you feel jaded now?
What do you mean? Like I could go kill anything?
I don't know. Do you just feel like you've seen it all now?
I
You feel
see
like
it all.
do you feel like you're a killer? Do you feel like you feel like a veteran, a war veteran, and do you feel
Well,
like
I feel like
you have
I first I
PTSD?
felt bad. First, I felt bad about it, but then I think about all the animals I don't eat that are, that I've been not eating for the last 4 years. So
And you whipped yourself
I
afterwards
did my
too.
best.
And you whipped yourself too,
I
right?
whipped myself. I gave myself some lashes around like that.
Yeah. Okay. Good boy.
I don't know. We should maybe we just get. I have some other things to say, but like
About rats?
no, about just random stuff to talk about. But it ain't that
Oh,
big deal.
oh, I'm happy. I'm down. Who knows? We don't need to get to. Look, guess what, man? On the Poundcast, there are no rules.
No, but I'm just saying it. I don't know if it's not. It's nothing really great. Nothing like that rat story.
Um,
I was just gonna say a couple things. Okay, here's something.
Go ahead. Go ahead. If it's not about annoying stuff, because I have an annoying thing that I can bring up, but that if we're not there yet, let's not go there.
Well, everyone's talking about that show Succession. Do you watch that show?
I did. I do, and I did. I mean, it's over now. I mean,
Yeah. Well, look, I'm on season 2, and it's like I don't know. It just kind of it's so annoying. It's like all the characters. I guess you're supposed to hate them, right? Is that why? Why do people enjoy this?
I
Because
don't think
every character is like if like a serial killer came into their mansion or into their office and like murdered them all, I would kind of be like cheering for the murderer because they're all just like the worst people. None of them, and they're so overly like shitty too. It's like so over the top that I'm kind of watching it like this is just making me feel bad. These people suck.
I hear you. I hear you.
And are you supposed to like root for them? I don't know if I like the show. It kind of makes me like every conversation is just like, oh yeah, fuck you. And then they like walk away. Like, you know what I mean? I was watching this one episode where like 3 or 4 conversations ended with one of the siblings just going, fuck you. And then like that's the end of their conversation. So
Okay.
that show is annoying. And I think
what
that
if you
show is overrated. And
try to
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that these people are so like the naive like kid who's like the nephew. He's like it's so exaggerated. Everything is so, but that's what makes the show good.
How about this? Try viewing the show as a comedy. I think it's meant to be a comedy. It's a dark
I know,
comedy.
but then they're trying so hard with every clever line that comes out of everyone's mouth.
I think the idea is just about people
I mean,
being.
I get it. It's like
It's
showing.
supposed to be a comedy. Like, I mean, it's a different kind of angle, but it's in some ways almost like Seinfeld in a way, where it's almost like in the ways like Seinfeld in a way.
How?
I mean, it's not as I don't know, lighthearted, I guess, as Seinfeld, obviously, but it's people being difficult and I mean, like, okay, Seinfeld is people being difficult and annoying, right? And selfish.
Yeah, but it always bites them in the ass, and they don't learn. Even though maybe that's what happens on this show too,
but I guess
but they win. Idea. They end up like sometimes they get these wins when they're like ruthless, shrewd, business backstabbing liar people.
By the way, there is one character at least, and actually I think even a couple characters that I think you do start to develop some sympathy for. And
all right, well, we'll see.
The show is
whatever. whatever.
I mean, look,
but I'm just saying, how awesome would that be if they're at like some mansion at one of those like retreats, and it turns into that movie Funny Games, where like some German like sadists come by and trap them in. That would be the ultimate like season finale.
I thought the same thing too, by the way. I just kind of thought whatever.
I'm still watching it. Look, it's well done. The acting is good, and it's like
the show grew on me. It grew on me, and
there's something about it that makes me want to. I'm like binging it. I got to keep watching it, but I'm sort of watching it just like, yeah.
I thought the same exact thing as you, Doug. Exactly the same, and I felt that way really even through the first season, and then in the second season, I started to think the show was getting better for me personally, and I enjoyed the third season as well. The show has gotten better for me the more I watch it, although it's still not one of my favorite shows, and I don't need to watch it. But yeah, I enjoy it. Yeah, I do enjoy it, and I think you will too.
All right. Well, by the end, in After Dark, remind me. I'll bring out the BB gun. You got to see this thing.
Oh gosh,
it's hardcore.
It looks like an Uzi.
I'll show you. Yeah. Something else I thought a funny thought I had today. You know, people are mad at this Joe Manchin. I don't know if you follow politics at all, but like,
I don't know.
Yeah, Senator from West Virginia, I think. He's a Democrat apparently, but he's the one vote holding back like Joe Biden's Build Back Better plan, which I think would be a good thing to do. Anyway, you know, then there you got this guy Joe the plumber. Remember him? Okay, well, this is for the politics heads out there. Joe the plumber was like this. I think he was a Trump supporter that got famous because, let me see, what was his deal?
It turned out Joe the plumber and Joe Manchin are the same person.
He gained national attention it's like they're both like evil Joes. It'd be like Joe Manchin versus Joe the plumber.
And then there's Joe.
I don't know.
Then there's Joe Biden, who is
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking there's like a Marvel movie here where you got this like these nemesis guys, and there's different Joes, you know. But like when people say fuck Joe Biden, they go, let's go Brandon. Democrats, they could take that phrase back. Do you know what that is? Let's go Brandon.
No.
Oh, it's this like, there was some kind of sporting event and the whole crowd was going, fuck Joe Biden, you know? And there was someone like a newscaster or something. They go, oh, they're saying, let's go Brandon. It was like a sporting event. So like now people say, let's go Brandon, but it's code for fuck Joe Biden. Like that's what Trump supporters yell at, like, because it's a safe way to say, there you go, let's go Brandon, right? It's code. But I'm thinking maybe that let's go Brandon could be fuck Joe Manchin. Because that also works. So Democrats can start saying it. And I'm not a Democrat. I'm a independent, but I'm just saying that would be just a funny thing to think about for those politic heads out there.
For those tick heads.
Those ticks.
For those ticks.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Let's get in.
It is interesting though. Imagine a world of Joes. You know, and you've got Joe Biden.
Dude, you got Joe Rogan.
You got
Joe Manchin. Joe Biden. I mean, this is the year of the Joes. We're in an age of Joes right now. Right?
Yeah. It's Joe world.
Yeah, we're living in a Joe world, and none of these Joes are going Joseph.
Yeah, they
and
just
by the way, one other factoid. Do you know what, our president, Joe Biden, do you know what his middle name is? It's Joseph R. Biden. Do you know what the R is?
Let me guess. Rumpelstiltskin?
You'll never guess.
Ramskin?
You'll never guess. You'll never guess it.
Reginald.
No.
Uh, Ramskins.
No.
Ramses.
It's just sad that so many of our citizens don't know our president's middle name.
Reynolds.
No.
Rogan.
That would be amazing.
What if his name was Joe Rogan Biden?
Joe Rogan Biden, dude. That would be. Can you change? You know how you can legally change your name? Wouldn't it be cool to legally change your middle name?
Yeah.
Because like my middle name is my dad's name, so I wouldn't want to mess with that. But it'd be kind of cool to like, you want to keep your name, but you kind of want to have some fun with your name. Legally change the middle name. That'll be cool.
Well, yeah. I mean, that'd be funny. I mean, what
would you make your middle name?
If I wanted to do something wacky, I would change it to Rogan.
Like, you want to do something fun?
I'd change it. All right, I'd change it to Rogan.
Brent Rogan?
Yeah. And I start a podcast called The Brent Rogan Experience.
How about if your middle name this is all one word, is too damn high. So it's like, Brent is too damn high. Remember when the rent was too damn high or whatever?
How about this? What if I change my middle name? This is all one word, Doug Loosenhop.
See, now you're talking.
Brent Doug Loosenhop Weinbach.
That would just be a weird thing to do to a friend.
Yeah, I know.
Or like a nemesis, just change your name to their name.
Right.
Change your full name to their name. Say you had a bully and their name was like, say their name was Joe Johnson. And you just change your name to that name. That'd be wild. So
what if my name was Tyson, Mike Tyson, or what if I just changed my name to Mike Tyson? That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Huh? Imagine me as I'm Mike Tyson now. Oh, that's my name. Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm Doug. Welcome to Poundcast. Here's Mike Tyson. What if my name was? What if I just went with Tyson? What if I just was Tyson from now on? One word, Tyson. You know that Tyson's going to be at the Improv.
Tyson would be sick. I wonder if that's kind of a good first name, you know? You have all these like Tylers and Tanners, Tyson, you know? There's probably Tysons out there.
Yeah, I guess so. But Tyson just sounds funny because whenever you refer to somebody as Tyson, it sounds like you're talking about Mike Tyson, but you're not. You're talking about.
What if you change your name to Burger King? Anyway, Joe Biden's middle name is Robinette. Robinette.
Robinette.
Robinette.
It sounds like a kind of a girl's name or something.
I know. It's, you know how people go Barack Hussein Obama. You know, they like make him sound like he's Muslim or something. No one's going Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. By the way, he's a junior. Interesting stuff.
Wow. Yeah, I guess Robinette. Is it Robinette or Robinette?
You broke up. What was that?
Is it Robinette or Robinette?
Robinette. Robin and then E-T-T-E.
Interesting. So it's kind
Robinette.
of, wow, that really sounds like feminine in it, or it sounds French too, you know? It's a feminine French name, Robinette.
It's a beautiful name.
People say Barack Hussein Obama. How about Joe Robinette Biden?
Right. I mean, if they want to do the snowflake angle and, you know how the stereotype is that people on the left are like wimps or betas or whatever. Why don't they lean on that?
Yeah. By the way, Robinette,
their bully tactics.
It's actually a cool name.
You should change your first name to Robinette.
Yeah, Robinette Weinbach. You know what's funny is Joe Biden's first name is so plain and ordinary, you know, Joe, and then his middle name is kind of sounds all sophisticated and European, you know. It's just this plain Joe, and then this really exciting sophisticated Robinette. It's this duality between, he's almost like a Two-Face character in this comic book world of Evil Joes. He's got the plain just Joe, I'm Joe, plain, and then he's got the sophisticated Robinette who just traveled the world and the seven seas.
Okay, let's get into some of the annoyances that we.
Okay.
If you're a listener of this show, you know that I put out an Instagram post story, and I said, "What's something that annoys you?" And I got the most DMs I've gotten in my entire life because everyone's annoyed by something.
Right.
And we've done 4 episodes of these now, so let's get to. There's plenty more still, so let's get into it.
All right. Well, you want me to start it off?
Yeah. Okay. What's something that annoys you?
Well, this is something that annoys me is when you watch a video on the internet or wherever, and people have the wrong, or it's a modern thing where they use a videotape and you put a videotape into a machine, and then when they shows on the TV, it's the wrong aspect ratio. It's a 16:9 aspect ratio, but it should be 4:3 or whatever. And that's just annoying that they go through the trouble of, and then sometimes they'll have it even look like it's a VHS tape. The quality will be kind of older quality or bad quality, but the aspect ratio isn't right. And it just, you went through the trouble of making this look like a VHS type of thing, but why are you making this look widescreen, you know? And by the way, the Pound House is guilty of it. In fact, I kind of said, the aspect ratio for this isn't right. And, you said you kind of didn't want to change it. And I thought, all right, whatever.
Wait, for what?
When you put the videotape in and I'm on there and I'm saying, telling you to come to Nico Mansions, that first episode of season 3.
Well, on your TV, you can change that. You can change it. There's a button you hit and it flips it. It'll make it be 4:3, or it'll zoom in, or it'll stretch it. So as far as your first complaint, like that's an easy fix. You just adjust, go into your settings, and you can adjust that.
You mean but you can't.
If you have a VHS tape and you have a widescreen, flat screen TV, you could watch it in 4:3, not a problem. You just gotta go into the settings.
No, I know you can, but I'm saying that the way the stuff shows is it's not being stretched out. It's not stretched, and yet you're seeing this extra space that you shouldn't be able to see from the VHS tape. You're seeing extra coverage. And another video that did it that I'm a part of is the Dress Up Gang. They did this Christmas special. We did it a couple years ago, and it's called Post Holiday Blues. And they do it in that. They put in a VHS tape of different things, Speed and something else, and it's widescreen. It shouldn't be widescreen.
Okay.
There's no. Give me the solution, Doug.
I don't know what to tell you on that. First of all,
well, here's the solution. I have the solution.
Okay.
Whatever you're watching, you get a piece of cardboard and you tape it to the sides of either the window that you're watching it or whatever, and just make it look like it's 3:4, and just imagine that they did it correctly. You just hide part of the video that shows the extra space by taping the cardboard on there.
Yeah, what's that? There's a word for that. It's the opposite of letterbox. What is that called? When it's pillar boxing.
Yeah, you have to do your own manual pillar box.
You pillar box it by hand. Problem solved.
Yeah.
And Brent, you could watch all your shows without being annoyed anymore. So
this is how you do it. You get a black Sharpie, okay, and you just basically darken out the part of the screen of your computer screen that has the extra space that shouldn't be there, and voila, you fix it.
No problem. Okay. Eric is complaining about taco trucks that clog up already small gas station parking lots. Now, I've seen this in LA. I think it might be just an LA or Southern California problem. First of all, I love taco trucks, and would you want them to be on the street where they're taking up parking spaces or that are already like hard to find? I welcome them at the gas station because whenever I see that, they're in a spot where you can still get in there, you can still get your gas. But
Yeah.
this isn't about my problem. This is about Eric has a problem with that.
Just to add on to that about, I agree
Uh-huh.
with you. When they're at the gas station, it makes the gas station more fun to be in, it makes, because it's a more festive kind of thing. Sometimes the gas station, it can be a little scary. There's nobody around, or maybe it's kind of sketchy. But the taco truck being there has more people there, and it makes it festive and it makes it feel safe. You feel safer at the gas station too. Okay, but again, like you said,
Yeah,
not about
my sister came here. Her husband is from England. Her kids have never been here because they live overseas in Asia. And I took them to the taco truck, and that just blew their mind. They loved it. And the taco trucks, we can't be, like I said, this isn't about what I think. This is about how are we going to solve Eric's problem. So Eric, when you're filling up and there's a taco truck there, gas them out.
I was thinking the same thing. And then when they turn to you, you go, "Oops, I guess oops, sorry about that. I couldn't control the pump. I guess this wasn't a great place for you to be set up, huh?" Shoot.
Yeah, you just spray their truck and it's pretty much ruined. It's gasoline all over those little bins of, the chopped onions and cilantro and the salsas. You give it a one quick squirt and they're out of there, and they'll probably learn their lesson. They won't be back, Eric. Don't worry about it.
You squirt their whole truck, and then the stove in the truck is going to ignite the whole thing. You won't even have to tell them, "Oops."
Yeah, just burn them down.
Nah,
we're kidding. Obviously, we're kidding.
We're kidding.
We're kidding. Okay, we're kidding.
Okay, we're kidding about blowing up the truck, but you can squirt the truck though if you wanted to. No, I'm just kidding again.
Or you can fog them out with some exhaust. Roll coal, get Eric, what kind of car do you drive? Do you have a big diesel like Ram pickup? Roll coal on them.
Or maybe just have a thing on there. What is it called that makes a loud noise for your car? For motorcycles have it usually. What is it?
Well, yeah, just like your muffler, you can swap out your muffler for one of those loud, annoying ones.
Make it loud.
But then, yeah, you'll be annoying me, and you'll be annoying some of our other people that don't like that either.
I got a solution.
Yeah.
Apply for a job at the gas station. Work your way up to manager, and then eventually, manager. You have to work your way up. You have to put in the time. You work there for about 6 months to a year, work your way up to manager, and then instill a policy where you don't allow trucks. And then so you can go up to the truck. This is a year later because now that you're the manager, and you go up to them, you say, "Guys, I can't have you here anymore. We have a new policy. We can't have you at the gas station anymore." And then anytime you go to that gas station, you won't have to worry about it being clogged up with the taco truck.
Yeah, then you hire someone else. If you don't really want that job, you're like, here's the one thing though. If you want to be the manager, you got to keep these taco trucks away. Because they're clogging up. It's already a crowded spot. Now, there's many solutions to this. Another one is buy them out. Let's just say, yeah, give me 100 burritos, please. Give me 300 burritos.
Right.
And then they'll be fixing up these. Oh, you don't even have to. You don't even have to pay, because usually you pay when you pick it up, right? You order something. Well, no, I mean, a lot of those trucks you pay, and then they're like, your order's ready. Yeah, just buy them out. And then they have nothing. Then they got to leave. They're like, well, we're done for the day. We sold them all.
Hey, and you'll have the money.
And then deliver those, deliver that food to unhoused people and, and people in need. Go around. And then it's kind of a win-win. The taco truck, they're not it's not burned to the ground and they're not covered in gas. They they sold, they made money, which is the whole point. So then they're gone. So then that cleans up your clogged gas station, and you're going to feel great about feeding the needy. So I think it's a win-win situation here.
And you'll have the money to accomplish this after working at the gas station for a year.
Okay, solved. It's another one. We should have like a little sound effect for solved. I'm going to get my drops back.
Right.
Now, some of these are kind of skippable. Bradley says waiters. That's something that annoys him. Waiters. I think you need to be a little more specific, because you don't want a waiter.
I got it.
You could say, when you get to okay, what's your solution, Brent?
Get a job, apply for a job at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And work your way up. You'll start as a hostess or whatever, a host. Work your way up to a manager and fire every waiter at the restaurant. No more waiters. And then move on to the next restaurant and do that, and do it restaurant by restaurant until you've covered the entire country. Then take on the world.
I have an easier solution, Brent. You got to bring someone with you that can be your waiter wiener. You're probably asking, what's a waiter wiener? A waiter wiener is your middleman between you and the waiter. So imagine a friend. So you say, yeah, table for two, and I've got my waiter wiener with me. So please let my wiener know where the waiter will be, that he can talk to him, that he's not going to come near us.
Pretty good, Doug.
So tell the waiter, we don't want to see him at this table, but he can talk to my waiter wiener, like near the entrance of the kitchen.
And the waiter wiener.
So we'll just take the menus from the hostess or the host, right? Or you scan the stupid QR code, you figure out what you want, and then let your wiener go do the talking. You don't have to say the waiter ever.
This is a really good idea.
Say like, look, we'll get all the beverages we want. Say we're going to need a refill. Just bring two, give it to my wiener. And
this is a great idea, Doug. A great idea indeed.
Well, we're full of great ideas.
And I just think about the way that it would go down. So the waiter wiener, he calls the waiter over. He calls him over to a corner of the room, and he says, "Okay, look, it's going to go down like this. The man on the right is going to he'll have the fish fillet, and he'll get a side of he'll get a small fries." The woman wearing the pink blouse, she is going to get the double cheeseburger, and a side of nuggets. Okay. Okay. So the two jokes going on there are that, one, this restaurant is McDonald's that has a waiter. And,
I see.
And two, it's, the idea that he's kind of being covert about it. And it's almost like some kind of drug deal or something. I don't know.
So here's how it's going to go down. Yeah. So there you go, Bradley. Solved. Ding. Ding, ding, ding. Or you know what? Don't go to these. If you don't want to be served, don't eat.
One last suggestion.
Yeah.
This is kind of just a twist. It's a less intense way of my first solution, although I think your solution is still best, is decide on a restaurant that you want to eat at for the rest of your life and work there and work your way up to manager, fire all the waiters, and that's it. The restaurant, you'll eat at the restaurant, waiter free.
Never be waited on again. Now, Megan says mouth sounds other than speaking. I think we've gone over the mouth sounds. You're gonna have to listen to a couple episodes back. Let me see. I
have an idea for Megan. This is just not related. This is just a thought. Has anyone ever made a joke where they say, if say Megan said something and I didn't hear what she said, and I said, "Come again?
Come again?
Come again? Come Megan?
Come again?
Come again?"
Something you could
use there.
Something she could use, yeah.
Something, if you know a Megan, you could use it too, I guess.
Okay, we got Chris here. Something that annoys me is when people who drive trucks make a right turn and think their truck is so big that they need to swerve into the left lane in order for their truck to make the turn when it's completely unnecessary and dangerous. Now, I submit that if you're driving a semi truck and you're making a right turn, we're talking at like at an intersection. I think they need to get out there to get the back end far enough out. Maybe they don't have to swerve left, but they at least have to go straight.
But this ain't about
I don't think, but this ain't about that. This ain't about that. So Chris, what you got to do is go to every corner that might happen and put up signs and go out there and put on a high vis yellow vest and just kind of like, I don't want to say direct traffic, but when you see that truck coming, you go, whoa, no, that's not necessary. You just flag them down and say, look, right. Make that corner, get out there, make that corner nice and smooth. So when their wheels inevitably roll over the curb that it's going to roll over when they don't do that wide turn that they need to do. Or here's something that you could do. Be a hitchhiker, get on the truck and say, thanks for the ride. I'm going to give you $100 and wave the $100 bill. Like, this is so nice of you to do this. If you just take me over there and take a right. And then, when they go to do that big wide right turn, you say, whoa. If you don't do that dangerous, unnecessary wide right turn, if you do that, you don't get the 100. Why don't you just take the turn without being unnecessary and dangerous? Go ahead. And then the truck driver will think to themselves, well, I want that $100. Then they do it and they realize they don't have to do that dangerous, unnecessary turn. Then you give them the 100 and they learn their lesson and they'll never do it again. And you got to go truck by truck until you get all those truck drivers.
Got one.
Doing it right.
I got one.
Yeah.
Get a CB radio. Okay.
Oh, now we're talking.
Okay. And all trucks, big trucks have CB radios in them, and, get in there and find the frequency. Actually, you don't even need to find the frequency. Yeah. Find the frequency or whatever. I don't know how it works exactly, but pretend like you're a police officer or a dispatcher. And if you see somebody do one of those kind of turns, you say, there's a big rig doing unnecessary swerving into the left lane. We're going to need you, to track that truck and make sure, something like that. Say,
right. Plate number T16, it's
something like that. And then
you're out there but you have it. You're just on the street with the CB. You're just looking.
Not even in the street. You're in your car with it,
But yeah, whatever. Wherever you are,
you're just following the thing. You say, I'm going to need you to write them a ticket and also charge them with them. Or I'm going to need you to bring them down to the station or something like that.
Yeah, I want you to revoke their license.
Yeah,
they shouldn't be out here doing these unnecessary, dangerous turns.
Something like that. You just make it sound official, make it sound like you're a police officer, and they'll hear the frequency, and they'll get so scared they'll never swerve into the other lane ever again.
I have one more solution. Figure out like what the National Truck Board Society is, whoever is training the truck drivers, right? The rules and the regulations of truck driving. Take those courses, get your driver's license, work your way up until you're not a truck driver. You're a truck driving, you're doing the truck driving. You're like what do you call it? You're like a teacher, but you're also writing the code. You're writing them. You get to the point where you get in the syllabus. And when people go to truck driving school, you're so high up, you rewrite the rules and you make it probably says in there, you got to make this big wide, you got to go left and then you go right. You change that, It might take a few years, but you work your way up. You fix it. Something to think about. We should probably wrap up the main episode.
Look, it's all about putting in the time, guys. A lot of these solutions are about working your way up and putting in the time. In fact, that's probably what we'll call this episode. Work your way up.
Work your way up. Okay, let's do one more, then we'll go after dark.
Okay, yeah.
I do have to. It is the holidays. I have to go do my holidays. I'm going to drive out to Colorado starting tonight.
Oh, so you're going to do it tonight? Oh, I didn't know you were going to do it tonight.
I like driving at night because the roads are more clear and there's no truck drivers taking these turns and there's no waiters anywhere. There's no taco trucks at the gas stations. It's too late at night. So that's what I do.
You're going to drive to Colorado?
Yeah. Starting
tonight, eh? Wow. Okay.
I'm not going to go straight. I'm going to stop.
I know how you do, but still, wow.
So, let's just call it because we've gone an hour and but if you want to keep listening, just simply join our patreon.com/Poundcast. And treat yourself. You could ask that for a Christmas present or maybe a birthday present.
Hey, and guess what? There's a fun, I would going to try to get Doug to play this fun game with me during the After Dark where we listen to quotes from or clips from movies from the 80s and we try to guess what movie they're from, and we're both going to be able to play too, which is going to be fun. So
if we don't do that, then we'll definitely do it on an upcoming one.
Sure.
But once again, come see us in Appleton, Wisconsin, January 20th, Chicago Hideout, 2 shows, January 21st, and Louisville, Kentucky, January 22nd. And we would like to thank our interns, our Poundcast squad. We're talking about Chloe Bonilla, Jack Birch, L.Bircho on social media, and Jackie Montana. Thank you for helping us make this show happen. And if you're a pimple, stay popped. We'll see you after dark. Peace. Talking about